Welcome, you made it. And let us just say this is no ordinary workshop. Today is all about you.
That's right. We're diving into how you can stop hustling and start living a life that's balanced, intentional, and on your terms. And trust us, it's not about doing more, it's about doing what matters.
Exactly. So grab your notebook, your coffee, or whatever fuels you, because I don't know what's in your cup. Because over the next hour, we're not just talking transformation, we're starting it right here, right now.
Let's go from hustle culture burnout to full on alignment and flow. You ready? Because we
Yeah.
are.
So, welcome to How to Stop Hustling and Start Living, creating balance between ambition and self care. In the next 60 minutes, you will learn why hustle culture is keeping you stuck, how to break free from the burnout cycle, practical tools for balancing ambition and self care. And you will also take steps right now, right here, right now, to create your own path forward using our proven process. And finally, you will see how to achieve success without sacrificing yourself. So let's get started. Hit pause, literally, go ahead, pause the webinar when you need to. Take a moment and write out one pressing issue you're facing right now. It can be personal or professional. Either one is fine. Use it active voice and present tense. Make sure that you're thinking in the here and the now. Keep this list because we're going to refer to it over and over again throughout this entire presentation. What we want you to do, and this is where it might be helpful to pause, identify the following. Who is involved? What are both parties doing, you and the other, and anyone that might be involved in this big goal or pressing issue? How does this make you feel? And where does it happen? Is it a home? Is it a business? Is it a family member's house? Is it the corner store? And when does it manifest in your life? So go ahead and hit pause.
Okay, we're back. Remember, keep that list. You'll be using it throughout the rest of our time together. Are you ready? This is for you if you're tired of being on 24/7 but feel stuck in the cycle.
This is for you if you've hit big milestones but still feel like something's missing.
This is for you if you feel guilty resting, yet you know something has to change.
And this is for you if you routinely ask yourself, how can I achieve success while staying true to myself?
Okay, how are we doing? Let's just pause for a second for a quick room check, quick vibe check. Do you feel one of these three? Is it hell yes, I'm ready to break free from burnout? Is it a hell no, I'm thriving in hustle culture? Or is it, are you drunk? Overworking is my happy place. Remember, no one knows what's inside your ceramic mug. A good way to tell if you're a hell yes or hell no is to pay attention to your body when you hear me say these three phrases. One, you're an ambitious woman and want to achieve your goals without sacrificing your well being. Or you're struggling with overworking and feeling stuck. Your efforts to find joy are falling flat on their face like a cat that has OD'd on tuna melts. Or three, you want to create balance, clarity, and purpose in your life and career. If any of these three or more resonate, you're in the right place.
Who the heck are we and why should you listen to us? Hello again. This is the voice of Christine Mortensen, founder of Sparked Business and Mindset Growth. I have spent my career specializing in the reinvention of businesses and careers, helping you evaluate and transform the systems you've inherited throughout your life. I blend science-backed strategies, universal principles, and real-world application to bring about lasting transformation for my clients. With experience from Fortune 50 clients all the way to solopreneurs and everything in between, I know these lessons apply no matter your company size or your personal journey.
And it's me. My name is Molly Cantrell-Kraig. I am the former single mom on welfare who took a little idea of my own, a spark of my own, and I thought to myself, there's got to be a better way to do this. And I went again from that farmhouse in Iowa to creating a nonprofit that provided economic emancipation for others because I myself had made those journeys. I had overcome that feeling of overwhelm and worthiness and created something that helped to liberate others using the lessons that I had won the hard way, quite frankly. As a result, I've been featured internationally via the BBC or CNN. I am currently an author, a life coach, and a professional speaker focusing on mindset, transition, and happiness, because that's where everything is going to happen for you today. Everything is going to be internal before it goes external. And that's why Christine and I are so happy to be working with you in order to help you become the person you want to be and live the life you want to live on your terms. So here we go.
What are we trying to achieve here? Well, first, we want to help you create a clear plan to balance your ambition with self-care. By the end of this workshop, you'll know exactly how to take the first steps towards sustainable success. We want you to feel calm, confident, and energized about your path forward. No more guilt about resting or anxiety about quote unquote doing it all. We want you to replace overwhelm with clarity and a sense of control over your life and your goals. And we also want you to be seen as someone who leads with purpose and balance. We want you to gain respect and admiration from peers, colleagues, and loved ones for creating success on your own terms. We want to help position yourself as a role model for achieving ambitious goals while maintaining your well-being. And so why is this important to you right now, this very second? So right now we're facing, particularly women are facing a crisis of hustle culture. 70 of the 57% of workers who report suffering at least moderate levels of burnout, women are more vulnerable to this. We're reporting 75% more burnout, as opposed to men who report 58% of the times of suffering from burnout. The results of this end up being that our creativity and decision making is reduced by 25% or more. And also, we end up doing a disservice to ourselves because we're not able to assess risks appropriately. So the biggest takeaway here is that hustle culture is costing you way more than it could ever give you.
So this part I love because I love efficiency. I LOVE love efficiency. You don't get to be a successful single mom who serves on 5 boards, working full time at a daily newspaper, and managing the schedules of 3 children without creating efficiencies. But this isn't just another life hack or theory. Again, it's actionable tools based upon the lived experience that Christine and I have learned through trial and error, lots of error. But these exercises are based again on those lived experiences that we want to help pay it forward to you so that you're able again to live the life that you want to lead. And that's our promise. That's our promise to you.
Before we get into the nuts and bolts, we need to clear some air here. Let's talk about the Brules. You might be asking yourself, what the heck's a Brule? Well, it's a word that I am borrowing from Vishen Lakhiani, who you may have heard of if you're familiar with the company Mind Valley. He's the CEO. And in his book, Mind of the Extraordinary, he talks about these Brules. And it basically stands for bullshit rules. So in his book, he talks about 5 specific ones that he wants to cover. I'm adapting that to our purposes here. And I want to walk you through 3 of them that are getting in your way, and there's a way through them instead of having to succumb to them. Rule number 1, hustling harder equals greater success. This is 100% bullshit. Women are 2 times more likely to burn out than men in high stress roles. So in addition to some of the other stats that we already talked about, that's another. We're glorifying overwork, and to what end? The reality is that hustle culture often leads to diminishing returns, burnout, and decreasing well-being, not sustainable success. Rule number 2, self-care is a luxury, not a necessity. Oh my God, again, enough with this one. We all need to take care of ourselves. This is the whole cliche at this point of if you don't put on your oxygen mask first before you help someone else, you're doing no service to anyone. The truth is that self-care is an essential foundation for sustained success. Ignoring your well-being undermines creativity, productivity, and long-term health. Who wants that? Rule number 3, success is about doing more, not being more. Again, no, 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 no. Success is not about how much you do, but how aligned your actions are with your goals and values. Doing less with intention often yields to better results.
So I want to ask you a quick question. Are you tired of living by someone else's playbook? Are these rules that were meant for other people the way that you want to live your life? I'm going to think that if you're still listening, you're probably going to say, no, I don't want to live by those rules. Well, the good news is these rules are indeed bullshit, and there is a better way. So this better way is using clarity, balance, sustainable success. There are key things that we'll be teaching you that you're going to be leveraging your energy instead of time. And we all know of times in your life where you are in flow and you seem to be able to do boatloads of stuff. And you look up and it's only been half an hour. Whereas there's other times in your life where I'm sure that you've been slogging hours and hours and hours and you've barely moved the needle. So energy is a key component of what we're going to help you channel and harness. We want to integrate your mindset and practical strategies that are going to make sure that you're applying the power of your mind toward things that are going to serve you. We also want to make sure we're providing community and accountability, which is going to be a way to, again, create sustainable success. And then finally, aligning your ambition with your values. Because here's the deal, folks. Ambition is not a bad thing, and we're going to teach you why. So I wanted to explain a little bit more about this using someone that actually was one of my clients, one of my private clients. And I helped Key find and use her true voice. So Key was working at a national bank, and her area of expertise was diversity, inclusion, and equity. And she needed to distill her message in a safe space where she could be vulnerable, angry, frustrated, mystified, all of these things that you do when you need to really have a sounding board. And she needed to have a non-judgmental environment. So she also, again, needed to be in a space where her words wouldn't be used against her in a professional setting. I'm not sure if that resonates with anyone here, but have you ever felt powerless in a toxic office politics setting? It's annoying, right? So being able to work with Key and to make that space for her to find her own voice and to find her own solutions so that she could walk through those and employ them, the result was she enjoyed upward career mobility. She had a great career trajectory, but she didn't have to impact her professional options or have any fallout at the office, which again might have some value. I thought it did.
And we get to redefine our definition of success. It doesn't have to be what our parents have defined it as or what our culture or society has defined it as. In my case, one of my private clients, Nemi, she's a successful email marketing entrepreneur. She was really driven and running a successful email marketing business. She came to me looking for strategies to scale her company. She was ambitious, talented, and ready to take her business to the next level and beyond. But life had some other plans for her. During our time together, after we started working together for a couple months, Emily started to face two huge challenges. One, her child was diagnosed with autism, and her marriage unfortunately took a devastating turn, ultimately ending in divorce. In short, life started lifing, and as it sometimes does, it was leaving her feeling overwhelmed and questioning how she could move forward. So we started making really great strides in her business, but even so, our work together quickly shifted towards navigating her personal challenges. Through our coaching together, Nemi really gained clarity about what truly mattered in this season of life. She made a courageous decision to pause her business and instead transition into full-time employment. It's a move that provided stability and support for her and her child through this tumultuous time. Today, Nemi is thriving in her new role, and her child is flourishing with the attention and resources that they need. What some might call failure, Nemi now sees as a powerful moment of realignment. The biggest takeaway here is that sometimes the things that we label as failure aren't failures at all. They're feedback. Nemi's story reminds us that success is not about sticking rigidly to one path. It's about choosing the path that serves you best in that particular moment. And so we've developed a system based on all of our years of experience that gets you clarity, balance, and sustainable success without burning yourself out or sacrificing your well-being. So you can have a fulfilling life where you start to see a difference in your ambition and self-care habits in as little as your first 3 weeks, even if you feel stuck in the hustle culture cycle or worry that you don't have enough time to make a change. And it's called the aligned method. So it's something that, but between Molly's deep experience in personal transformation and my deep experience in professional transformations, we've come up with this system combining the best of both worlds and using the letters of each word of aligned to help you through. And we are going to walk you through each and every stage here.
Okay, so we're going to start with A. The first letter in alignment is ambition, reimagined. So earlier I mentioned ambition is not necessarily a bad thing, especially for women who have been socially conditioned that ambition is bad, it's masculine, or whatever other things. That might be a Brule I'll start. That's a Brule. Ambition
Cool.
is not a bad thing. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that you understand that ambition doesn't have to come at the cost of your well-being. Here is where you're going to shift your focus from chasing external validation to aligning your goals with your values. Therefore, ambition is going to become energizing, not depleting, as you pursue success that truly matters to you. So we're going to, again, redefine ambition by aligning it with your personal values and the intrinsic goals, the ones that make you you, not external societal expectations. Okay, so remember that sheet of paper that we started out the webinar with. We want to go get that sheet of paper, and we're going to go through some tests here. I want you guys, we want to make sure that you're going to have a takeaway from today's time with us. So here we have, look at this list, and then I want you to pretend that your magic wand your pen is a magic wand, and write your ideal outcome based on what you want. Oh, by the way, my apologies. Make sure that you're pausing because we're going to be doing some scribbling, and you're probably not going to hear our voices go on as you try to get some work done. So pause it if you need to and read this slide. But we're going to make sure that you're reading this, looking at this list, and then defining why you want it, who benefits from those highest aspirations that you're writing down, that magic list. If it's just you, you may wish to journal about your motivations. Because remember, this is about you, not your spouse, your boss, your goldfish, your parent. These are your goals, but you want to make sure that your goals are serving the extended community, and that's going to come back and be relevant later. Again, finally, your future you self, the one that comes out on the other side of this, you're pursuing goals that light you up. They're energizing. You're creating your life that your work supports. It's got meaningful family time. You're able to explore passion projects, personal growth. You're not hustling just for hustling's sake. You are aligned, intentional, and successful. That's where we want to go with this.
The next letter in aligned stands for leadership through balance. And through this method, you prioritize what truly matters. You set boundaries and you say no to what doesn't serve you. No is a complete sentence. Self-leadership becomes a foundation for how you lead others and manage responsibilities. It's not about doing more. It's about showing up with clarity, calm, and purpose. Okay, so it's exercise time again. Get back to your list that Molly mentioned that you had started writing out at the very beginning of this workshop. And now that you've envisioned your ideal outcome, let's take a closer look at where your energy is going and how leadership through balance can help you get there. I want you to divide your current energy usage into 3 areas. Leading yourself. And what that means is, what do you do daily to take care of yourself mentally, emotionally, and physically? Write down 1 to 2 key activities. Leading others. What responsibilities do you carry for other people? Families, coworkers, clients? Write down 2 to 3 recurring tasks. And leading systems. What tasks keep your life and work running smoothly? Are you managing schedules? Are you responding to emails? Are you planning projects? Something else? List 1 to 2 examples. Now reflect on the balance. Are any of these areas taking up too much of your energy? Which one do you feel is being neglected? Set a goal to balance energy. Choose one small action you can take today to better balance these areas. So, a couple examples for leading yourself. Commit to a 5-minute mindfulness break. Molly's going to give you another example in the future. Leading others. Communicate one clear boundary. Leading systems. Maybe you delegate one task or reduce unnecessary commitments. Remember, it's okay to press pause. We want you to really think through these. Come back to us. We promise we'll still be here. We'll wait. Okay, you're back? Great. Fantastic. So now the future you is that you're able to now navigate personal and professional commitments with ease. Your to-do list feels achievable, and you lead with confidence and balance instead of stress and exhaustion.
Okay, so now we're on the letter I in a line for integration, integration of self and strategy. So success isn't just about goals, and it's what you're becoming and who you are while you're achieving them. So this process is going to blend the mindset shifts with some actionable strategies that ensure your personal growth and professional ambitions. There's that word again, but they're going to be working together seamlessly. So each action you take feels aligned with your values and energy. So we're going to keep going back to this alignment. You're going to hear that a lot. So I do want to pause again. Um, we're going to, you might need more paper by this point. We've given you guys a lot of homework out there. But so I'm not sure if you're familiar with the lecture. It's something that's been on YouTube. It's probably 10 to 15 years old, but there's a professor that's standing at the front of his class, and he's got an empty ball jar, one of those glass canning jars, and he puts a whole bunch of rocks in it, and he says, okay, class, is the jar full? And they all say,
Yes.
oh, exactly. And of course, then he starts to put in pebbles. Is the jar full?
Yes.
Not quite. He puts in sand, and he keeps on doing these things so that what happens is if you're spending your life paying attention to sand, you're never going to get a chance to get your rocks and your big goals scaled and achieved. So we want to make sure that you're doing this integration of all of these steps that we've been doing thus far, and to make them part of your daily operating system. They're going to be your default setting. And by the way, this habit is something I started 20 years ago. It's kind of amazing that I've been doing this for 20 years, but it's very much a situation of here's another savings analogy. I'm sure that if you've ever been around anyone who talks about finance, that they say if you take care of the pennies, the dollars take care of themselves. The same principle is what we're wanting to work with for you now with this integration of self and strategy. The point of all of this is that you want to prioritize what serves you, release what doesn't. Energy allocation. Are you spending time on the things that are serving you? And again, that oxygen mask strategy. So we want to align and integrate who you are and what you want. Release what isn't truly important. So these lists that we want you to work on, get that paper and pencil or pen out and go list these 3 things that are most important to you. These are going to be your rocks. This might be a goal that you want to accomplish over the next year. This may be something that you want to do that's going to be a personal goal or a professional goal. It depends because there are different strategies to some of them, but just get them out of your head and onto paper. And then make a small list of ways you can move forward toward these goals. And this is the incremental integration aspects of what we want you to get comfortable doing. That could be healthy habits. Again, like Christina mentioned, setting an intention or a meditation practice. It could be conscious choices of walking when you can tell that you're getting frustrated, or releasing irrelevant or extraneous toxic items. Maybe you're holding on to something that you inherited from your grandmother that every time you look at it, you remember the time that your brother smushed your face in it, and it drives you crazy. That is a drag on your brain. It could be a toxic relationship. There could be someone in your life that is just not serving and helping you. You want to make sure that when you write down anything negative, if you've attached anger or fear or negative energy to anything that you write, make sure that you burn that list later in a safe, fire safe. I have a terracotta planter that I use. And when you burn this, you want to say, I release what no longer serves me to make room for what does. And the reason that you say that aloud is that there's different synaptic things that happen when you think something as opposed to when you speak something. So when you do that, make sure that you're speaking those words. I release what no longer serves me to make room for what does. Okay, lots of stuff on that slide.
You're making me grateful I've never had a brother to shove stuff in
Oh, heavens,
on
man.
my face and stuff.
There were things when I first moved to Chicago, I got rid of about half of my stuff. It's in my book, Circuitry in Your Brain. I called it the living funeral. I got rid of a lot of stuff that I knew wasn't going to serve my new life. And so seeing things or keeping things around you that remind you of something that's unpleasant, like if you're saving a dress that hasn't fit you for 20 years and every time you look at it you feel, oh, I'm fat, or whatever
Yep.
negative thing that goes through your head, you
Yeah.
are chipping away at your core energy every time you do that. So I'm kind of going off the slide deck, but it just, Christine, you made up a great point, or you made a great point. I wanted to make sure that we touched on it because a lot
Yeah.
of people integrate these harmful things and they don't even know they're doing them. So part of the whole alignment method is we want to be able that we're able to bring these things to your attention in a loving and supportive way so that you can say, wow, I get it. I see it now. I'll be darned. So again, we want to seamlessly blend the mindset work with actionable strategies, ensuring that your growth is going to align with your professional and personal ambitions. That's what it's all about. This is all about you, your future you. Your day feels intentional. You get out of bed and you're like, yeah, I know what I want to do and I know I want to do it. And you're not overcommitting and you're not shoving your schedule full of things that aren't going to serve you and feed you and make you into the type of person who can truly give from a place of abundance as opposed to giving everybody a little teeny tiny sprinkles of you. You're also going to want to make sure that you're balancing your energy so that you can thrive, and each step that you take brings you closer to the life that you want to live.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah.
Next in the process is the growth map framework. So that's the G in aligned. So basically, the growth map is a personalized roadmap that evolves as you grow. It's not a set in stone. This is what it is, and that's it. It's not a Brule. It's meldable. Moldable? Meldable? I'm making up words over here, Molly. It breaks your long-term goals up into actionable, manageable steps while keeping your big picture in focus. It's a step by baby step roadmap to build balance and sustainable success. It's not just success at all costs. We don't want that. We want sustainability. And with this personalized roadmap, it evolves with you, like I said, connecting your aspirations to manageable, tangible actions. Your goals stop feeling intimidating because you now have a clear path forward. It's because your big dreams can feel overwhelming. That's why breaking them into the actionable steps creates clarity and momentum. And honestly, the science behind that is that you end up getting these little dopamine hits from all these small completions that you've done. And that helps keep you motivated. I know that I have been guilty of the New Year, New You, New Year's resolution of I'm gonna lose 20 pounds in like 4 months and it's gonna be amazing. And I go to the gym for the first week like a mad woman, and I am so sore that I cannot move. And do I go back the next week? Nope. Nope, she too sore. So we tend to get over our skis sometimes. We get a little too ambitious at the very beginning, and then it becomes unsustainable. Instead, had I only gone 2 or 3 times and done less intense workouts, maybe then I would have been able to keep the continuation and the continuity going forward. So what we're going to do now is we're going to break your big goal out, get that list out again. We're going to keep coming back to this. And remember that big goal that you had? Great. Let's simplify your big dreams into actionable steps. This exercise is going to help you create the clarity on the thing that you want to focus on first. So are you going to go work out super hard for every day, like every week? Or are you going to like do smaller chunks and break it down into going twice instead and see better results over time? So I want you to identify your big goal again. write down that one major goal that you really want to achieve. You might have changed since the very beginning of this webinar and having gone through some of the other exercises. That's okay. It can be personal or professional. For example, I want to grow my business to consistent 10K months, or maybe it's something like I want to feel less stressed every day. It doesn't have to be world changing. So now break it into phases and ask yourself, what needs to happen first to move closer to this goal? Do I need to keep my shoes by the door in order to, be able to just get out the door faster? Is it that I need to clear time in my calendar so that I am making sure I'm making time to write 300 words every day so I can get closer to finishing my novel? What is realistic to tackle in the next 30 days? So I want you to write down 1 to 2 actionable tasks that you can accomplish within the next month. Again, for the 10K goal, let's go with that. I want to clarify my offers so I can reach out to 5 potential clients. For the less stress example, maybe I can identify 1 task that I can delegate or say no to. So now we want to identify your next right step. So look at your 30-day tasks and circle 1 step that you can take immediately, like immediately, today or tomorrow, to gain momentum. We're not putting this off until the next week, because then it's not going to happen. We have to do this right now. Trust me, it's helpful. Your brain's already like committed to saying that you want to do this goal. You've made a decision. Those synapses have fired together, so they wire together. Progress doesn't require massive leaps. It just starts with a single intentional step. I want you to write down your next step and commit to completing it within those 24 hours. The growth map framework is all about building momentum 1 step at a time. So I hope you've hit pause and now you've come back to us. And so now the future you is this massive goal that you've been avoiding now feels doable. You've broken it down, you defined it, and you're making steady progress. You aren't just dreaming, you are actively living your dream.
So energy mastery is the only E in aligned, and so we want to get to the point of mastery. So managing time isn't enough. Real transformation happens when you manage your energy. Again, that making the analogy earlier of when you're in the flow, you seem to be able to get lots and lots of stuff done because, again, you're harnessing your energy in an aligned way that really serves you. It's you're going to be able to we have tools through our resources and our library and stuff that you'll see later where we will be teaching you how to identify your natural rhythms, where you're going to be operating at peak efficiency, working at your best and focusing at your best without overextending yourself. It's also going to be making sure that we're identifying what drains you and what fuels you. So that's, again, going back to the sustainable energy for everything you do. This type of mastery is what's going to make the difference. It's going to flip the switch, and it's going to be the thing that helps you level up into, again, going from apprentice and novice into the mastery level. Okay, remember the list. Again, with the list, you're going to love lists, I promise you. Actually, I don't really mind lists. They're really fun. It gives, I don't know if it's for Christine, but I do get a little bit of a thrill when I cross something off my to-do list.
Oh, I will legit write something down that I just did that was not on my list just so I can check it off. I need that little dopamine hit. I'm not kidding. It helps.
Whatever it takes, man. Whatever it takes.
Exactly.
So we're gonna go back to that list again, and now here's where it gets a little tough lovey. Where this is all about, I call it Proverbs and Truth Bombs. That was my band name in college, Proverbs and Truth Bombs. No, it's about energy allocation and intentional choices as to what situations and people get your focus, time, and energy. Okay, so I'm not sure if anyone has ever heard of the proverb, not my circus, not my monkeys. The lesson of this is to pay attention to what is yours to own and to release what isn't. So, tend your own garden is another analogy. That was my grandmother. Tend your own garden. When you spend your energy, your precious, precious energy, trying to control everyone else, newsflash, your own growth is impeded. So, tend your own work, look at your own garden. And then finally, this is a great quote from Martha Graham, who was with the Washington Post, I believe, or maybe she was at the Answer. I think it was Martha Graham was a Post. I'll have to Google that. But I love, and this is almost tattooed on the inside of my eyeballs, what other people think of me is none of my business. That will liberate you like nothing else. So looking at the actual slide, I want to kind of definitely make sure that I'm enunciating and spelling these out for you, just in case you're scribbling while I'm talking. While you're scribbling, I want you to list the things that you're focusing on that are none of your business. We're going to identify some of these your energy drains right now. Are you paying a lot of attention to what Susan in the corner office is doing, or what your husband should be doing, or what your partner should be doing, or whatever? Let's take a look and see where you're putting where your energy leaks are. Be honest with yourself, because when you lie to yourself, you are restricting your growth. There's a truth bomb right there. List the things that are 100% under your control. Habits. You can choose to drink water every day. You can choose to go meditate every day. Things like that. Your attitudes. You can choose not to let someone else's bad attitude affect you. They must be having a tough day, and send them a little positive vibe prayer or whatever, and let them go. But if you sit there and go, I'm going to jump into this drama stew and I'm going to give them a piece of my mind. Well, guess what? You just gave them a piece of your mind and a bit of your peace. That was another thing of my grandma. She said, they call it a piece of your mind for a reason, Molly. Anyway, she really
I
did.
would, I would love your grandmother.
Oh my God, my grandmother was amazing. She was a hoot and a half, and she did not brook any nonsense. Thank goodness. Otherwise, I don't know what type of a person I would end up being. But anyway, again, going back to the energy mastery's concern over what others think. When you spend your energy worrying about what somebody else is thinking of you, again, newsflash, most people are not thinking of you at all. And then the ones that are have their own stuff to deal with, and that's not for you to fix. So another with the truth bombs. Most people are actually concerned with themselves, their own outcomes, and many people are not even thinking about you, which we're thinking about you, which is why we've done this. But if you're concerned with a lot of the opinions of others, that's a big, huge energy suck. So here we go. Back to getting on track, Molly. I'm sorry. I get really focused about this energy thing because this is one of my lessons that took me decades to learn. So maybe that's why it's so important to me.
Where energy goes, where focus, what is it? Where focus goes.
Focus goes, energy flows.
Thank you.
The thing is that I guess it's so important to me because one of the reasons that Christine and I have built this program for you guys is we don't want you to lose decades when we can help you leapfrog through that. Learn from our mistakes and our lessons, and we'd be happy to teach you these things because the future you, after you get through this energy mastery phase, your days flow effortlessly. It's like if you can imagine just stuff bouncing off the shell of your psyche because you are focused. You got your intention, you got your list, you know what you need to be doing, you're ready to go. Your high energy is because you've drawn all that power and energy back to yourself, and you got those tasks are now again directed toward your peak performance. They're going to be aligned with the times that you know that you're going to be. Maybe you are a morning person. Maybe you're one of these people. I don't know who they are, but apparently there's some people who get up on purpose at 4 o'clock in the morning. I do not.
Bless them.
Yeah, I'm glad they do. I really am, because they've identified their peak performance. My peak performance is not that time of day, but when I do know, those are when I assign tasks to myself that I know I need to be at 100%. And I also honor my rest when it's needed, because if you try to follow that rule and burn yourself out and keep on pushing when your body and your mind is saying, hey, rest, you're going to break something. Energy and not exhaustion drives your success. Wow, I was really fired up about that.
It's a good one to be fired up about.
Okay.
So again,
over to you, Christine.
The next part of the aligned method is navigation through universal laws. Spoiler alert, there's 12. I won't go through all 12 here. We don't have that much time today. We don't want to take up that much more time of yours. But this process incorporates the universal laws, things like the law of vibration, the law of inspired action, and the one that most people are usually most familiar with is the law of attraction. And so we want to bring those into your daily decisions. These principles provide clarity, alignment, and ease in how you navigate challenges and pursue your goals. And when you align with the universal principles, success becomes a natural flow instead of a constant uphill battle. So again, exercise time. We like, you got to do the work. It's all about doing the work. This is not just a sit back and listen to us pontificate sort of webinar. We're making you do the work. So I want you to get that goal list out again and focus on that current situation or goal that you had identified. I want you to focus on that and then write down one thing that you're currently navigating. For example, I want to improve my work-life balance, or I'm deciding whether to take on a new project. Check for alignment using universal laws. One of those is the law of rhythm. And let's just use that as an example. So the law of rhythm talks about cycles. Just like we have seasons in our weather, seasons throughout the year, our life also has seasons, and there's a natural ebb and flow to those seasons, the natural ups and downs. It can't be happy times all the time. I'm sorry to break that to you if you haven't already found that out throughout life, living life on your own. This constant drive and quest to pursue happiness and success at all costs, it's not sustainable. We're all going to have, you could be a master manifester, which we're all manifesting all the time anyways, but you could have manifested every single thing in your life and you're still going to run into like the random bill that's going to pop into your mailbox unexpectedly. So there's just things that are going to come up. So ask yourself after knowing this, am I forcing this during a low energy moment? Or can I lean into the natural ebb and flow of life? If it's not the right time, identify when you'll revisit this with better energy. So I want you now, after you've taken some time to think about that, I want you to take your next aligned step. Let's reflect. Choose one actionable step from what we just talked about and write it down. Reflect again. How does taking this step align with my values and the life I want to create? Again, if you need to pause, you can pause. We'll still be here. See, I told you we'd still be here. So, like I said, this process incorporates universal laws. We want to provide clarity, alignment, and ease in how you navigate challenges and pursue your goals. So, with that in mind, the future you is now feeling effortless because the decisions you've made align with your values and your goals. You work with life's natural rhythms, achieving your goals with more grace and less resistance. And last but not least,
empowerment designed through collaboration. So that's the ED, the aligned through collaboration. So the thing about this is we've been talking a lot about your own needs, your own goals, your own energy, lots of focusing on the individual, which is important. And it's also paradoxical because this particular approach creates a space to share insights, celebrate your wins, as Christine had said earlier about that little teeny tiny dopamine hit. But it's also a way to connect with the extended you who is represented and reflected in the community you inhabit. And that accountability factor, because you're building connections with others who understand your challenges and they cheer for your success. You're going to be part of a community and surrounding yourself with other accomplished, kind, loving, smart women who want your success as much as they want your own success. And I think it was Amy Poehler has a quote about that. She's like, I want to work with people who get shit done and who care deeply about the world. And it's like, yes, ma'am, I am right there. I just, I spent at least a decade trying to succeed on my own, and I am a very stubborn person. It's my only flaw. And I basically bullheaded my way through my 20s. And I'm telling you right now, when you are in a community of strong people, in this case, it'll be primarily strong women, who care about you and who are excited when you hit a goal, that is just so electrifying. It's amazing. You're not doing this alone. Your growth will accelerate when you're part of a supportive, collaborative community. Okay. So again, we've spent a lot of time distilling who you are, what you want, how to proceed toward your goals. You. We focused a lot on individual ownership, owning your own choices, owning your decisions, owning your behaviors, and having your own accountability. So, again, with the pausing, you'll probably want to pause at some point. But now, through this exercise, we're going to ask you to build and engage a curated, intentional community of people who understand, love, and support you. This is the time to decide whose energy matches yours. And by matching, I'm not talking about everyone the same. I'm talking about complementing, as in compliment with an E, not compliment with a, hey, you look great today. Although, Christine, you look great today.
Thank you.
You're welcome. This is a
As do you.
time to see what kind of list you're going to comprise that's going to be people who possess the skills, the attributes, and the characteristics of all of those items that you've released. Okay, if that makes any sense. We want these people that you're going to have on this list, they're going to be in alignment with you. They're all going to be going the same direction. They want to go, cross that desert, climb that mountain, whatever. But they also possess the dynamism to complement your goals, because not everyone is going to like the same stuff. And that's why I love working with people who have skills that I don't, or who see the world in a different way than I do. On this list, there's two things. One, I want you to honor your instinct. When you see this, when I ask these questions, I want you to list the first one or two people that come to mind. And after the list, I'm going to give you my second insight that I think might be a little bit mind bending and world opening. So we want to create this list. Who has what I lack? Am I really good with accounting, but someone else is better at marketing or whatever? Who has what helps me grow? There could be someone who's really a really good listener, or there could be someone who really loves to make healthy meals. Maybe they can teach me a few tricks on how to shop really well. Who truly loves me for who I am? This is crucial. They love you for who you truly are. Who supports my growth? And who needs what I bring to the table? Because there's going to be people who are, I don't know if anyone out there knows the Rumi quote, but what you are seeking is also seeking you. So the last thing that I want you to have on this list is a big old fat question mark. Because when you start moving into uncharted waters, please, please, please make sure that you're open to recognizing people that are not in your orbit right now. Because as you grow and change, you are going to be naturally attracting other people who are currently not in your life. It's important. Okay, let's see how we're doing. Oh, yeah. So the future you. Now you're going to feel connected and supported. You're going to be surrounded by purpose-driven people who lift you up. Again, collaboration amplifies your growth and gives you the momentum to keep going. Here's a great analogy on that. I wanted to make two things. One, as you go through this collaboration, you're going to want to make sure that you're not having a mindset of the scoreboard mentality. I'll give to this person if I get from this person. Not about tote boards or if this then that behavior. It's about the propulsion of reciprocity and the dynamism of healthy relationships, because it's also kind of like the geese flying. So when the point person goose gets tired, they drop back and some other goose takes the place on the point. And it's a momentum that they're going to keep migrating. They're keeping moving forward, and they take that rest when they need it, and someone else just steps into that point place, and everyone keeps moving together, and everyone is uplifted.
It is possible to do all of this and get all the benefits without spending years searching for solutions. Take, for example, my work with Managed Force, which ties to the leadership through balance aspect of the Align method we just walked through. When Managed Force, an enterprise level managed IT services provider, found themselves overwhelmed by day-to-day operational tasks, they realized their team was spending way too much time on routine chores rather than focusing on the core responsibilities that drove their business forward. They partnered with me to clear the clutter and streamline their marketing and sales approach, much like shifting from doing all the emotional labor at home to fostering a more balanced dynamic. So I want you to be honest with yourself. Are you doing all the emotional labor in your life? Are you refolding the towels after your partner folded them because it's not done the quote unquote right way? I've been there. I'm wondering if you have too. Are you clearly communicating your needs and expectations to your partner, kids, family, coworkers, your boss? By not being clear on your values, needs, and expectations, what you're doing is unintentionally undermining your own efforts. Again, I've been there. I'm speaking from experience, folks. Just like in business, managing your energy is about setting clear boundaries, delegating tasks, and focusing on what truly matters to you. We call it ROI, and it's not necessarily return on investment if you're in the business world and that's what you're used to hearing. We call it return on intention. When you manage your energy, both in your business and in your life, you free yourself from the draining day-to-day chores that hold you back from thriving in areas that matter most.
So this is a personal client, and I had a private client where it was really her third act. And her cross-country liberation is how I refer to it, because Martha had moved from Ohio to Colorado. She had escaped an abusive marriage. She was doing a lot of enabling of her younger son. I'm not sure if that resonates with anyone out there, but she was so wrapped up in making sure that she was a good mother and doing all sorts of things and making sure she wasn't failing as a mother, that she was unintentionally enabling a lot of her son's behavior and keeping him from flourishing as an individual in his own right. He was an adult. It wasn't like a 12-year-old. This son of hers was 32. And she had overcommitted to civic volunteering, and she was also related to causes that didn't resonate with her. But because she said she would, she did. And because it used to matter 5 years ago, she was still living decisions that she had made 10, 15 years ago, and she had outgrown them. And so she found herself at the age of 63 realizing that she had lived her entire life to please others. So after working through the aligned method, the processes that we have that help to define her true goals. And also, we, to be fair, went through some trauma stuff that was in her past, that she had inherited some scripts that, again, weren't even hers to begin with. She just stepped into them as a little baby. She showed up on this planet and picked up a bunch of baggage that wasn't hers. So we were able to help her get those true goals of hers. And she made the bold decision to cut her ties with this Midwestern life that didn't serve her any longer. And she moved to the West Coast. And she's now living an exciting, purposeful life on her own terms. Fascinating, right? Fascinating stuff. I actually, seriously, if it were just you and I, we could sit here and talk forever, because I'm so excited about what this alignment method does, because I've seen it work. I've seen it work again and again for many, many people. So let me ask you this. If there was a way to get your own personalized plan for balance and sustainable success with, again, the proven tools of the aligned method for instant use in your life and business, and to have it ready and done in as little as 6 months, would you take it?
Because now you can. What if I told you there was a way that was breathtakingly easy to achieve your biggest goals without sacrificing your well-being by balancing ambition with self-care in a way that feels effortless and aligned? That you won't even have to work harder, give up your downtime, or figure it all out on your own. That you don't even need to be perfectly organized, a productivity expert, or have everything figured out already, because really, who does?
Amen.
And that all it takes to get a life where success and self-care coexists effortlessly is to have a little faith. And those that have a little faith and take the leap are rewarded with clarity, balance, sustainable success, and the freedom to thrive without the burnout. And today we want that same benefit for you. Today we want you to have a clear path to your goals, the energy to enjoy your life, and the confidence to lead with balance and purpose.
Introducing FutureU CoLab, where ambition meets balance. FutureU CoLab helps you align your ambition with your values for greater fulfillment. It creates balance between your personal and professional life. It guides you towards sustainable success without burnout, without the need to sacrifice your well-being or personal time, without the need to figure it all out on your own, rely on the hustle culture, or white knuckle it with sheer willpower. In as little as 6 months, even if you feel overwhelmed and stuck in the hustle cycle. Even if you worry you don't have what it takes to make changes. Even if you don't believe that balance and success can coexist.
Seems impossible, right? Allow us to introduce you to a few folks. When Bunker Labs, a nonprofit dedicated to empowering veterans to become entrepreneurs, sought to expand their reach, they partnered with me and my team to create a transformational growth strategy. Starting with a single location, which was Chicago, we developed a bold expansion plan that brought Bunker Labs to 12 cities across the United States in just 18 months, positioning them for acquisition by Syracuse University's IVMF organization. Our work went beyond strategy. In short, I helped them shift from running their nonprofit like a scattered business to leading it with a CEO of YOU mindset. By clearing the clutter, streamlining their approach, and providing growth guardrails, they expanded from one location to 12 cities. It was an astounding time of growth for them.
So here's something that comes from another private client of mine. I had worked with a client who was facing a double whammy in her healing journey. First of all, Susan was facing a cancer diagnosis, and she was also experiencing the effects of long COVID. So she's in her 50s and she's just absolutely overwhelmed. She's in like a fear spiral and despair, and fear is not good for your health. It does a whole bunch of things to your body and your systems that are just not conducive to healing. But she just had these two health situations in rapid succession, and it was just really she felt helpless, and she felt as if, what's the point, and what am I going to do, and how am I going to get this done, and what's going to befall my children. I mean, she just had basically overthunk herself into paralysis, which I don't know about you, but I am really good at overthinking. I am super, super good at that. And so because of some of the tips, techniques, and tools based on a combination of Circuit Train Your Brain, which is a book that I've written, the U-turn method, which is my personal coaching, and then the aligned method, which is what we're going to be teaching you, my client Susan was able to find healing and wholeness in a time of physical and mental and spiritual adversity. And it actually turned out that she is currently in remission. Her cancer is in remission. She still obviously is going to be facing that long COVID diagnosis, but she doesn't have that despair. That's gone. And now she's able to go into her health situations with a feeling of empowerment and agency, which in and of itself is something that does facilitate a better healing opportunity. So it's really, really important to consider those things as you go through anything you're facing, really. So back to CoLab. So here's the deal. This is what's included in the FutureU CoLab. We're going to start talking some features and benefits here. So you've got 2 group calls per month. It's got a $3,000 value, and you're going to have expert guidance, personal growth strategy, holistic support, advice, interactive group discussions, absolute access to us. It's going to be 90 minutes of focused attention.
2 times a month.
Oh yeah, 2 times a month. Thanks for the assist, Christine. And
Yeah.
then we're going to have this is something that we're really excited about, is going back again to the group concept. Is none of us are as smart as all of us, but the accountability workday and a guest expert. So these are going to be another 2 sessions. So one is going to be the accountability workday, where we're all going to just show up and knock out some stuff and work together. And then one of the sessions in the month is going to be focused on a guest expert, who this speaker is going to bring fresh perspectives, specialized knowledge, and really enriching the learning experience. And we're going to talk about specific, drill down certain self-care things that might not necessarily be something that you consider self-care. It might be, something about your finances, or it could be something about other types of mindset work that is going to add to your base of knowledge. And then again, that workday is going to be giving you the focus for your priorities without distraction that we talked about with the list making. It could be something from that. This has a combined value of $3,000 per month. Okay, now the hot seats are great. I love the hot seats because we're going to have 6 per session. And a hot seat, if you're not familiar with the term, is where you'll be able to apply for an individualized coaching session tailored to your challenges. And it's going to be within a group coaching session. So there's going to be other people on the call who have their own wealth of knowledge that they can bring to the conversation. But just the act of having a hot seat makes you, as the person who's the point of focus, you've really got to get your ask buttoned up. You know, you can't come to a hot seat and say, "Oh, I think I want to do this, and I'm not sure about that, and I'm not really sure about this." You've got to have an ask, and the which is helps you to distill what's really important to you. And then having other people, you know, there's going to be 5 other people in that hot seat if you're going to be one of them, and you will be learning probably from other people's situations. It's going to amplify the value because insights are going to be shared struggles and strategies. And again, it's going to have that feeling of camaraderie. And it's just a very supportive environment where everyone grows together. This does have a value of $3,600 per month. And then the video library. So we're talking with people literally all over the globe. There could be someone who's listening to this right now in Germany or the West Coast or whatever. So this video library that we've built is a curated collection of videos that are designed to help participants, that would be you, overcome limiting beliefs. We're going to help you build your confidence. There's going to be all sorts of success-oriented resilience resources here for you, and they're bite-sized lessons so that, again, we know that you're busy. We are knowing that you need a takeaway that you can implement right now. So these are going to be easily integrated insights that you can log on, catch a couple few, get back to whatever it is that you're doing, and learning along the way and integrating these healthy habits into your life. And it's going to be there for you at your schedule, at your time, at your convenience. It's going to be absolutely accessible to you whenever you need it. And this does have a value of $1,200 per month. And then we've got a resource library, which is different from the videos. This is going to be templates, downloadables, workbooks, tools, quizzes, fun stuff. Again, it's going to be available for you, instant access. The minute you decide that FutureU is for you, you want to be a part of the CoLab, you will be getting instant access to this information. And it's, again, a compilation of stuff that Christine and I have spent literally decades amassing, fine-tuning, tweaking, and making sure that it's something that you can pick up and run with. I love efficiency. LOVE, love efficiency. So these are going to be, again, step-by-steps. We're going to be right there for you. You're going to save time, reduce your overwhelm, because we've already got these ready-made turnkey solutions that are tailored to fit your growth and success journey. This has a value of $1,800. So this is something that we've made allusions to along the way, is this private CoLab community. It's going to be a supportive space full of vibrant, awesome women who get shit done. I'm going to swear, what the hell? We get stuff done. And we are all ambitious and, again, celebrating each other's successes. And I'm telling you, it's like plugging yourself into, you know, a lightning bolt. That energy is just amazing. Connecting, sharing, experiencing, celebrating those wins, accessing that encouragement, pure accountability. I love accountabilities because it's really weird. Sometimes we'll do something for someone else that we won't do it for ourselves. And I don't know why that is, but it's true.
The law of reciprocity.
It is. There's sneak peek,
Oh,
sneak peek.
hey.
But yeah, it
What is
just is
it?
really so. But again, to our point, we've learned how to tap those tools that are going to keep you motivated and inspired. Oh, this is significant. It's not a Facebook account required. It's going to be something that's going to be secure and safe, because we want to make sure that that community is inclusive and, again, a safe space, because some of the stuff that you come across when you grow, you're going to be digging up some stuff that's like, oh my gosh, I did not know that was there. That lesson from my 20s that was painful, and I was under my bed for 2 weeks, and oh my gosh. So you're definitely going to be in a room where people will learn how to honor confidences and engage in kindness. And that's
What happens in the CoLab stays in the CoLab.
what happens in the CoLab stays in the CoLab. We might make shirts because of that. I'm not sure, but maybe.
Is that our
Uh,
first merch idea?
Yeah, no kidding. Hey, and this, technically we've put $3,000 per month, but I'm sure that you can agree having a community that has your back is priceless. And now we've got we've done the math, and all of these resources, all of this stuff that we've compiled and curated for you has a total value of $21,000. But let's compare. I know that in my growth journey, I have hired many personal coaches, whether they be financial coaches or helping me write a book, blah, 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 one-on-one guidance. I've spent $10,000, $15,000 or more for a similar level of support. And business strategy consultants, I don't know if you're someone who has had someone who has helped you with maybe gaining financing or something like that. You're easily going to be spending $15,000 to $25,000 for comprehensive planning and resources, or like paying for an accountant. Their expertise comes with a price tag, as it should. And then productivity and leadership workshops. I'm sure that you've probably gone to either an online thing or you hopped on a plane and flown someplace to learn something. And that would be anywhere from $5,000 to $7,500 just for the actual conference, not let alone the lodging and the travel that goes along with it. So these types of things, like if you go to a one-day event, that's going to drop some of these things, but you're not going to have access to the resource library or it's this. We've really tried to be comprehensive and cohesive to offer a true 360 community and product so that you can really hit the ground running. This program brings it all together at a fraction of that $21,000. So,
And yeah, sure, you can Google it, but let's be honest, if you're heading in the wrong direction, who's there to help you course correct? And that's what really makes this program different. It's not just information, it's guidance, accountability, and it's a proven system to ensure you stay on track and make real progress, just like what Molly was saying. And we are so confident in your success through this program. We have a confidence commitment guarantee. We are so confident in the transformation that CoLab provides for you that we're offering you this. If you fully participate, attend the sessions, engage with the community, and complete the exercises, and you don't feel you've made significant progress towards creating a balanced, fulfilling life, we'll work with you one-on-one, or well, two-on-one, to
yeah.
address your challenges and get you back on track. This is not about refunds, it's about results, and we believe in that wholeheartedly. You will. Your success is our priority, and we're here to ensure that you achieve it. And the good thing is that we're not charging you $21,000 for this. In fact, we're not even charging you half of $21,000, but we are still giving you 10 times more of the value, more impact, and more results. But there is a catch. You can only get this price before January 6th of 2025, because after that, once we roll this out, we're also rolling out 2025 pricing. And let me tell you, sister, it's gonna very likely double.
So ask yourself, what is the cost of living your life exactly as it is right now? No change, no growth, no nothing. What is that costing you in your health, in your time, in your goals, and in your ambition? What is that costing you? And what is it worth to you to live the life you're capable of living? So just to recap, exclusive access to FutureU CoLab. You've got the coaching calls, you've got the guest experts, you've got the workday, you've got the accountability, you've got that private community dedicated to mutual success, the hot seats, the Mindset Matters video library, and the resource library, and direct access to both of us. All of those things together, again, we said it's $21,000. There are so many resources that Christine and I have included that are designed to support your growth and the aligned process. And this is what it comes down to. Instead of the $21,000, it is technically $5,997. But that's if you want to pay in full. We've dropped it to 20% savings of one payment of $4,797, which is kind of like getting 1 month free. Or you can do two payments, one today of $29,997, $2,997. And you can start now, or you can start now at just $333 down with the balance due over the course of the next 5 months, so the 6 months total. So if you are ready to go to meetfutureu.com/CoLab, you can learn all about it. The thing is you're basically already paying. You're already paying in a life that's not serving you. So there is an opportunity cost to that, FYI. Spoiler alert. But with this, you're going to be getting two coaches basically for the price of one. And, oh, I forgot about the deep dive. I
Oh,
forgot
right.
about time. Yeah,
Cool.
that's
Yeah.
awesome. That's super cool. So, when you go to meetfutureu.com/collab, there's information on a deep dive. So, um, without going there, I can kind of explain it to you guys. So if you do the full payment, one payment of $4,979, you not only get the 20% price break, but we will schedule with you a deep dive as a bonus where we will go over, I think it's an hour-long call dedicated specifically to you and your goals. And we will work directly with you to frame out some processes that are going to really help you make the most of this CoLab program, the Align method. The deep dive is available as a standalone upcharge if you'd like to add one and you don't do the full price today. So like if you wanted to do the half payment today and you'd like to update, you'd like to add the deep dive as a bonus, that's absolutely available to you. And it's also available to you at the $333 level. So, but if you are going to do the full price and pay it one shot, you will get that deep dive as a courtesy. That's a thank you to you from us.
Yeah, that was a lot. Thank you, Molly.
Okay,
My goodness. So right now you can get FutureU collab for just $47.97, just under $5,000. So like we said, we're not charging you the $21,000 that's valued at with all of that jam-packed goodness in there, plus Molly and I as well. So that's priceless, obviously. But you also get instant and exclusive access to our self-care checklist, the resource library, and the community. And right now, all this for under $5,000 when you pay in full. Like Molly was saying, it's 1 month free. And you get that private deep dive session where we're working together on a topic of your choice. And whether it's personal or private, it's again, it's a 60-minute deep dive into your goals and intentions for the program and beyond. Topic of your choice to help you get the most out of CoLab. And you can schedule it anytime during the 6-month program. It doesn't necessarily have to be at the beginning, it can be at the middle or towards the end. You'll get a pre-session planning worksheet so that you get the most out of our time together during those 60 minutes. And then afterwards, we're also going to give you a customized plan after our call with concrete action steps. And that's just the deep dive session. That's not even the program itself. That's like the bonus part. So you're getting so much even in a short 60-minute session because we are all about plans of action.
correct.
And you can get in instantly, start within the next 60 seconds and begin seeing results immediately. I kind of teased this a little bit earlier in this workshop that as soon as you make a decision, you start building new neural pathways within your brain. You start seeing different results as soon as you start.
So if all this program did was to help you reclaim your time and energy by creating balance in your life, or get you from feeling overwhelmed and stuck in hustle culture to thriving with clarity and purpose and peace, or finally allow you to break free from the cycle of burnout and guilt over quote unquote not doing enough, would you agree that $4,797 is a tiny price to pay? It's almost insignificant, really.
Yeah, and let's talk about the sunk cost fallacy. I don't know if you've stop me if you've heard this one before, but but you know that little voice in your head that says, I've already invested so much time, energy, and effort. How can I possibly stop now? That's the trap that keeps us hustling harder, holding on to systems that do not serve us, or staying stuck in patterns that do not get results. We're all about truth bombs here, so here's another one for you. Clinging to the wrong things doesn't move you forward. This program isn't just another expense, it's an investment in you. If what you've been doing hasn't gotten you the results you want, it's time to stop throwing good energy after bad. When you say yes to this program, you're choosing transformation, balance, and a life that finally aligns your values with your goals. So let me ask you, what's that worth to you? Again, you're getting two coaches for the price of one. You really only have three options at this point. You can decide to do nothing and keep running after quick fixes, productivity hacks, and generic advice, hoping they will help you crack the code to balance and sustainable success. But what we all know is that's a one-way, no refund ticket to Nopeville. You can try to implement the aligned method on your own. It might work. Actually, it will work better than what you've been doing. But something tells us that quote unquote better isn't good enough, right? Or you can get everything that's included in FutureU CoLab that gets clarity, balance, and sustainable success without burning out, second guessing yourself, or figuring it out completely on your own so that you can have the fulfilling life and thriving career you've been dreaming of in as little as 6 months, even if you feel stuck right now. The choice is yours. You can be like Nemi, who we talked about earlier in this workshop, who stopped chasing success at all costs.
You can be like Key, who found her true voice, which led to a bright future. Or you can continue on the way you are right now. Nothing wrong with that. We personally think you're awesome. But do know that a better, brighter, shinier you awaits on the other side of yes.
A you who is calm, confident, and control of their time and energy. A you who does the things that light you up without guilt or overwhelm. A you who lives a balanced, fulfilling life where your ambition and well-being coexist beautifully. A you who is known as the leader who inspires others by living aligned and achieving success on her own terms.
So, how much is this new life worth to you, living as your full self? How much is that worth to you? And what is the opportunity cost of living the life that you're currently living? So let's just recap briefly. Big fan of recaps. We've got a lot of stuff that we've really put together intentionally to really help you move forward as quickly as possible because we want you to start living your life as soon as possible. We've got group coaching calls, we've got guest experts, we've got the collaborative workday, we've got accountability, we've got the community hot seats, libraries, templates, resources, direct access to Christine and I. You're already paying something. You're paying a cost. Where do you want to go? How are you going to get there? And we, Christine and I, can unlock your future you, bring that woman out of your imagination and into your reality. You're already paying. Are you ready? What do you think, Christine?
I agree. I mean, if you're not paying financially, you're paying with your time, you're paying with your energy, you're paying with your health, you're paying with your sanity.
Yeah.
And we're only asking just under $5,000,
Yep.
47.97. If you pay one payment, if you do two payments, it's 2,997. And if that's not in the cash flow right now, we want to make it easy for you to say yes. We want you to be able to start now for just $333 down. And like Molly explained earlier, after that, it's 5 equal payments for the rest of the time you're with us. So head on down to that link,
Yep.
meetfutureu.com/collab,
Yep.
and let's get started.
I can highly wait to meet you. Thank you so
Thank you so
much.
much.